children. Welcome to today's class. So in the last class, we have revised FA1 portions, is it not? So again, I will say the portions. It is only the first lesson, that is growing plants, and then the July worksheet, which I had marked, is it not, 1 to 4, all the mains I have given the paper pattern. So go through according to that, and question answers from lesson number 1. And the diagrams, all the 3 diagrams, parts of the flower, seed structure, and seed and its germination. So all these 3 diagrams you have to practice. So I had told diagram, draw with a pencil, color, and then labeling also should be done with the pencil only. So if you use pen, I'm going to cut the marks, I said. Okay, clear children? For FA1, prepare well. Only 1 lesson is there, and only the part of the worksheet is there, and the diagrams, that's all. So prepare well, do it promptly, do the test promptly. So don't copy. How much ever you know, you write it. So don't see the classwork or the worksheet, copy and write. So it will not be any use for you. So read how much ever is possible, you answer it. So if you are not able to do it properly, you have one more chance. You can read and do it well in the next FA2 test. Okay, children? So don't copy, be prompt, do all your tests well. All the best for your test. Okay, yes. Now we'll continue with the lesson now. I told you that in the next class, I'm going to do with the textbook exercises. Is it not? I said the textbook was due, which is available now in the school. So parents come and collect the books from the office, bring your due list and collect it from the office. I think many of your parents have taken the textbooks, is it not? Okay. Now, if you are not able to come and take the textbook also, copy it in your rough notebook. Once you get the textbook, you can transfer that to your textbook. Got it, children? Okay, now we'll start. It is the textbook exercises of lesson number 1. Okay, so first, both the lessons is not being done the textbook exercise. So we'll start with lesson number 1 first. That is page number 13. Got it? Yes. So A main, choose the correct option. So if you have the textbook, you can see. Otherwise, just listen. Okay. Yes. First main was, A main was, choose the correct answer. First question, a baby plant inside a seed gets its food from. So options were cotyledons, seed coat, roots. So since the baby plant does not bear the leaves, so it cannot prepare its own food. So who is going to store the food for the baby plant? It is option B, seed coat. It is option B, seed coat. That is the first one. Okay, first question. A main, first question. It is option B, seed coat. You write it. If you don't have your textbook, you copy it like this only. A main, first one. B option, seed coat. Got it? Yes. Next, second. Leaves of this plant give rise to new plants. So you know that flowering plants bear the seeds from which the new plants can be grown. But in case of non-flowering plants, since it does not have the flowers, it does not turn into seeds and you cannot grow new plants. So then how new plants can be grown? By vegetative propagation. That is from the other parts of the plant like leaf, stem or stem cuttings, underground stems, roots. Is it not? Yes. So here options given are dandelion, bryophyllum, rose. So leaves of which plant give rise to new plants? First option was dandelion. So it is, since it is seed, so it can be grown from the seed part itself. Next is bryophyllum. B option is bryophyllum. So I drew the diagram that day. On the corners of this leaf, bryophyllum, there are buds. Okay, so those buds, when it is dried, you collect those buds, put it in the moist soil, so it can grow into a new plant. Or the whole leaf, when it is placed in the soil, it can turn into a new plant. And last option C was rose. So from the stem cutting, it can be grown from the stem cutting. So which is the right option? Again, second one also it is B, bryophyllum. Bryophyllum. Okay, option B, bryophyllum. Next, seeds of dandelion plant are dispersed by. So if seeds are put in same place, so there are chances that it has the scarcity for space, water, nutrients, and all the seeds will not grow into a new plant. So some seeds will die or get lost. So to avoid that, dispersal of seeds are necessary. That means scattering of the seeds away from the parent plant is necessary. So since plant does not have hands, so it cannot throw the seeds on its own. So that is why nature has given the ways by which seeds can be dispersed to new places. So there were 4 ways. First one was wind. So lightweight seeds are dispersed by wind, and by water. Plants which grow in and near water can be scattered by water, and by animals, humans, birds, even we are responsible. And when the ripe fruit bursts, that is explosion, seeds are dispersed. Okay, so these were the 4 ways by which seeds were scattered. So here what they have given, dandelion plants are dispersed by. So dandelion, it has hair-like structure over its body on the seeds. That means it is very light in weight. So it can be easily carried away by wind. Other than that, water and explosion they have given. So as I said, water lily, lotus, coconut are dispersed by water, and bee, pea, all these are, when it bursts, it is exploded and it is carried away by explosion. So again, it is option B, wind. Third is also option B, wind. Got it? Next, scattering of seeds away from the mother plant is called dash. So what is that process called? Method of spreading away or putting off the seeds far away from the parent plant. Options given are germination. So it can't be germination. So what is germination? I said, you remember the diagram there. So once you put the seed into the soil, when it gets air, water and warmth, it can turn into new plant, I said. So from the seed, it turns into new plant. That is called as germination. And then seedling. So seedling is the baby plant there. When the seeds start growing, so plant will come out. That is called seedling. And then option C is dispersal. So scattering away of the seeds is called as dispersal. So it is option D, dispersal. Dispersal. Okay. Next, fifth. Fern plants grow from dash. So again, it is also non-flowering plant. From the other parts of the plant, it can be grown. So as I said, this fern is a show plant which has long leaf. Underside of the leaf, there are black or brown dots like thing. So those are called as spores. So when that dry, it falls down, or you can collect it, and when you put it in the soil, it can grow into a new plant. So ferns grow from spores. So it is not C children, D children, it is C. Only 3 options are given there. So it is C, dispersal. Okay, 4th one, make it correct. Only option I have given it wrong. It is C, not D. Okay. Yes. Next, fern plants grow from dash. So as I said, it is C, spores. C, spores. Got it? Written. This was the A main. We'll move to the B main now. B main. Give 2 examples for the following. Give 2 examples for the following. Okay? Yes. First one. Seed dispersed by wind. So lightweight seeds, as I said. So first, in the first dash. So this is first one. Dandelion. D-A-N-D-E-L-I-O-N. Dandelion, and then cotton. So they are lightweight seeds which will be easily carried away by wind. Then sycamore is also one more example for that. Next. Second, seed dispersed by water. So as I said, plants nearby or in water, those seeds are dispersed by water. So lotus, coconut. You can write water lily also. Third, seed dispersed by animals. So as I said, the animals, the small seeds, so which they eat the fruit part of it and throw the seeds away. So those seeds are dispersed by animals. Okay. So what are those? Which are those? So example you can give. First one is cherry or any fruit, mango, guava. Anything you can write. Okay. So seed part they eat, fleshy part, fruit part they eat and throw the seeds away. Next. Seeds dispersed by explosion. So when the fruits ripe, so it bursts, the outer skin bursts and they are dispersed by explosion. Pea, beans. Over. Next. Plants that can be grown from roots. So, carrot, sweet potato. Carrot, sweet potato. Next, sixth. Plants that can be grown from stems. Stem cutting I said. So most of the flowering plants you can write. Rose, sugarcane, hibiscus. Over. And last one, seventh. Plants that can grow from spores. So, fern, mosses. So even that also show plant which has tiny dot structure on its underside of the leaf. So that can be grown into a new plant. Okay. Yes. Now the C main, fill in the blanks. C main, first one, fill in the blanks. Most plants reproduce from. So most of the plants are flowering plants, so which turn into fruits and which contain seeds in them. So most of it will reproduce from seeds. Most of the plants reproduce from seeds. Second, dash and animals help in dispersal of seeds. It is birds. Birds. Over. Third, dash contain food for the baby plant. So since it is small, it can't prepare its own food. So cotyledons will store food for the baby plant. Cotyledons or seed leaves. Cotyledons. Next, the scattering of seeds away from the mother plant is called dispersal. Dispersal. Last, potato is an underground. So even though it grows under the ground, it is considered into the stem part. Finish? Okay, now turn to the next page. That is page 14. So you have the D main there. Put the pictures of the process of germination in correct order. So they have given the diagram. You have to put the numbers. So which comes first, which comes later. Okay. So I'll draw the diagram here. So the first one was like this. Second, the radical part was there. And the third one, so the root part was there, and here the cotyledons was there. So bearing the leaves here. Okay. And then the next one was whole plant. The root system was developed, and then above you had the shoot system also. So you have the leaves like this. Okay. And the last diagram was the seed with the micropyle here. Okay. So these were the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diagrams given there. Okay. So you have to number it according to the stages of germination. So which occurs first, you have to put the number below that. Okay. So you have the box given below this, like this. Is it not? So box given like this. So according to you, which is the first one? The last one, because the seed is put in the soil. That is the first one. So once it gets the right amount of air, water and warmth, so the radical or the root system will start growing. So here will be the second one. And then the cotyledons here, it breaks out. So that is the third one. And then the seedlings start growing. That is the fourth one. The root system, which later develop into the shoot system. And finally, the last one, 5. Got it? 3, 2, 4, 5, 1. Got it, children? So these are the lesson number 1 textbook exercises. Okay. Yes. Shall I erase? We'll move to lesson number 2 now. Lesson number 2. Textbook exercises of lesson number 2. Okay. Yes. Are you ready? It is page number 19, children. The notes of this lesson will be sent soon. So after your test, you can complete it and submit for correction. Clear? Yes. First main or A main is fill in the blanks. A main itself. A main, fill in the blanks. Okay. Yes. First, we cannot see microbes with our dash eyes. So they are very tiny organisms which cannot be seen through our naked eyes. So under the instrument called microscope, simple microscope or powerful microscope only, these microorganisms can be seen. Okay. So it cannot be seen through the naked eyes. Naked eyes. Second, the microbes that cause diseases are called dash or dash. So as I said, these are the tiny organisms. In that only there are 2 types. So one which is present inside our body, which helps in the digestion, or the one which converts the milk into curd, or the eatable one, mushroom or the yeast, or penicillium, which is used to make pencil, the medicine, penicillin, or the one which used in the preparation of bread. All these are useful microbes which are helpful to us. They are useful microbes. And there are the others which causes diseases like malaria, cholera, dysentery, cough. All these diseases we get, like this corona is a virus. So all these causes diseases. So they are called as germs. Many of you confuse and write germs, G-E-M-S. So it is G-E-R-M-S, germs. Or it is also called as pathogens. It is also called as pathogens, germs or pathogens. Okay. Third, microbes dash quickly when they get conditions that are suitable for them. So they increase, they become double. Okay. So that is, they multiply quickly. Multiply quickly. They increase. Multiplication is becoming more, is it not? So they increase. Next, dash or single-celled microbes and have different shapes. So in the microbes only you studied 4 types: bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and virus. So in that, the bacteria is single-celled. That means it has only one cell. Bacteria. Next, diseases caused by protozoa when live inside our body are dash and dash. So what are they? They are malaria, and second one is dysentery, S-E-N-T-E-R-Y. Finished? So this is the first main, fill in the blanks. Now we'll move to the B main. B main, write true for true, T for true statement, or F for false statement. So if it is true, you should write T, and if it is false, you should write F. Shall we start? Okay. Most fungi grow on dead and decaying matter. So that is only their food, is it not? So it is true, write T. Second, mushroom or one-celled fungi. So you know that in fungi only there are 2, single-celled organism and they are multi-celled organism. So yeast is a single-celled fungi, whereas mushroom is multi-celled. So second one, it is false. Second, it is false. Next. Oh, sixth I didn't write in fill in the blanks. Sorry children, sixth one is there. So I didn't complete that sixth, I think. I thought only 5. Okay. Fungi or plant-like organism, but they do not contain chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. This, you added children sixth one. I didn't find it that. Sixth one. So fungi are, they are, even though they are considered for the plant group, so they don't have chlorophyll, so it cannot prepare its own food and depends on other organisms. Okay, so added children sixth one, it is chlorophyll. Okay, so again I'll repeat with the true or false. First one is most fungi grow on dead and decaying matter. So that is only their food. So it is true. Second, mushroom or one-celled fungi. So as I said, yeast is one-celled and mushroom is multi-celled. Viruses can be seen through a simple microscope. So bacteria or microbes are only the tiny organisms which cannot be seen through the naked eyes. But these viruses, they are still tiny than the other microbes. So under the microscope, simple microscope also, it cannot be seen. So it can be seen only through the powerful microscope. So it is false. So under simple microscope, it cannot be seen. Okay. Next, fourth, all microbes are not harmful. Yes, it is true. So as I said now, mushroom, it is eatable one. They are not harmful. And some turn curd into milk into curd. So that is also useful, not harmful. Some is used in making bread, wines, cheese. So that is also useful to us, and which lives in our intestine, which helps in the digestion of the food. So that is also not harmful to us. So they are useful. So all microbes are not harmful. So some cause diseases and some help in preparation of some useful things for us also. Okay. Yes. Next, fifth one. Fifth. Some bacteria live in our stomach. Just now I said, so it helps in the digestion, in our intestine. It helps in the digestion. So it is true. Okay? Yes. Next, C mail. Find the names of 5 diseases caused by microbes. Circled letters will help you. Okay? They have circled the letters, children. So I think I need not write the whole box letters there. Okay? Yes. In the first box, you have polio. P-O-L-I-O. Up to down here. First box itself. Polio. Got it? Yes. Next, after that you have B here. After that you have A. Okay. So below that you have AIDS. AIDS. So I'll write the answers in the color chalk. You can recognize the letters there. Okay. P-O-L-I-O. Here. AIDS. Okay. Yes. Next. Below that itself. So here below this B you have R. RINGWORM. 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 This caused by fungi. Okay. Yes. Next. So after A here, so you have the letters V, N, U, V. After that you have D here. Got it? So that was dengue. D-E-N-G-U-E. Dengue. Okay. So what you should do is around this you have to put the box like this. Okay. Like this. You have to put the box. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is over. Another 2 you have to do. 1, 2, 3, 4 over. Okay. Next. Dengue is also over. Last line, children. In the last line, so it below this O you have, below this S you have, and D. Okay. So it is dandruff. D-A-N-D-R-U-F-F. Dandruff. Okay. So, got it, children? So these are the 5 diseases caused by bacteria: polio, AIDS, ringworm, dengue, dandruff. I think you have completed the box there. Did you get all the letters, children? Did you complete? Okay. So this completes the second chapter also. Okay. Yes. Now, before starting the next lesson, today just I'm going to give you the brief description of what I'm going to teach you in the next class. Okay. Yes. So our body can be compared to a machine. So it does lot of activities throughout our day. So suppose we were coming to school, we were walking, climbing the steps and coming, is it not? And the most important necessary thing is we are breathing, because that only we are alive. So we are breathing. So our body helps in breathing, and the food what we eat is digested in our body. Is it not? So that is also one kind of work. And then the air what we take inside, so through the nose, it is sent, the air is passed throughout our body through the blood. And we are able to, now I am teaching, so you are able to see me, or you are able to understand, or you are able to write whatever I have written it on the board. You are able to write it in your textbooks or in your rough book. And when we say that your test is coming, when we give the paper, then you are able to recall the answers or whatever you have read, and you are able to write the answers there. Is it not? So in our day-to-day life, we do so many activities. So some organs are responsible for carrying out those activities. It is not that only one organ can complete that work or can do that work. It is not like that. So in our body, there are many organs. So all the organs together, we call it as system. Okay, all the organs together, we call it as system. Okay, and there are different systems in our body which is going to do different functions for us. And it is not that one function, one system is going to do and other system will not help. It is not that. So all the systems work together. They should work together. Then only our body is able to carry out the activities. Otherwise, we fall sick. Our body will not be in a healthy condition, and sometimes we may lose our life also. Okay, so it is not that today one system you work, tomorrow other system I will work, you take rest today. It is not like that. So all the systems should work together and help in carrying out the different functions of our body, different activities which we do in our daily life. Okay, so there are, as I said, there are different functions carrying out different organs carrying out different functions. Okay, so we'll see what are the different systems which help. Okay, so we'll just write the names of the systems and what is the help it is going to do to our body. Okay. The first and the major system is the respiratory system. Respiratory system. So as I said, one of the important activity what our body needs is breathing. So what I said, breathing is taking in air and giving out air. That is taking in oxygen and giving out oxygen. So as I said, we are going to, through this nostrils openings, we take the air inside and it is going to go into the lungs. And in the lungs, there are blood vessels, bloods. So blood, through that, the oxygen or the air is carried to the all the parts of the body. Okay. So that is taken care by the respiratory system. Respiratory system. That is taken care by respiratory system. Okay. So what is the use of respiratory system? Carrying oxygen from the air to the blood. So it carries oxygen. That is the use of this. It carries oxygen. That is very, very important. So without breathing, all the living beings cannot stay alive. We cannot be alive. So this is an important activity what our body should do, breathing. So if you are not breathing, that means we are dead. Is it not? So that breathing system is carried out by the respiratory system. Okay. So after that, the second one is the skeletal system. The skeletal system. So this is nothing but the bones and the muscles together. Okay. So what it does is, there are three major functions of this. So what it does, it is It helps in the movement of our body, because bones are present in our body. We are able to stand, we are able to bend, we are able to walk, we are able to lift things. All those things we are able to do. So this, it helps in the movement of the body. It helps in the movement of the body, and it also protects the internal organs. Internal organs. So for time being, you understand that it is going to protect the internal organs. So what are internal organs? Organs which are present inside our body, which cannot be seen. For example, this eyes, hands, the mouth, tongue, everything is present outside. They are external. It can be seen. But the stomach, intestine, kidneys, heart, lungs, which are present internal, inside, it cannot be seen. So this skeletal system is going to protect the internal organs, and it helps in the movement. Okay, and also gives shape to our body. It gives shape to our body. Okay, so this is the second system. Okay, next is third one. This is also very, very important. All the systems are very, very important. So as I said, they all work together in coordination. They do. Otherwise, our system, our body would be dead. There would be no use of that only. So the nervous system, the nervous, the name only says it is all made up of nerves. It is all interconnected. Okay. So because of this nervous system only, we are able to think. So it helps in thinking. Okay, it helps in thinking. And the 5 sense organs, for what it is useful. So all those things are carried out by this nervous system only. Thinking, smelling, seeing, tasting, etc. Feeling, tasting, feeling. So all these are taken care by the nervous system. Okay? Yes. Next one is the muscular system. The muscular system. That means muscles. So as I said, the skeletal system and muscular system, they work together. Skeletal system is bones, muscular system is muscles. Okay. So bones and muscles work together. So this is helpful in movement and doing various kinds of work. The muscular system. Okay. The next system is the circulatory system. Circulatory system. The next system is circulatory system. So what is this circulatory system helpful for? That here also name only says circulatory. What does circulatory means? To spread, to give, to pass. Okay. So what it passes? So it passes the nutrients. It circulates the nutrients to all the parts of the body. Okay. It circulates, or it passes the nutrients to different parts of the body. To different parts of the body. Parts of the body. So that it is going to carry its own work. So it is going to circulate for the muscles, which helps in the movement or work. It is going to circulate for the bones, so which helpful in movement. It is going to help supply it to the respiratory system, so that it can pass the oxygen. So it circulates the nutrients to all the parts of the body, and which helps us give the energy for our body. Okay. And the last one is the digestive system. The digestive system. Okay. The digestive system. What it does? It helps in digestion. So what is digestion? The food, whatever we eat, it is broken into simpler substances so that this circulatory system will circulate, will pass the nutrients, and it is going to help the other systems. So it is breaking down of food. It helps in the breaking of food. Breaking of food into simpler substances. Into simpler substances. Simpler substances, which converts that simpler substances in the form of energy, and that energy we'll use to do our day-to-day life. We write, we talk, we walk, we do exercise. So that energy is used for all the daily activities. Okay, so these are the major systems in our body which is going to help our body. So respiratory system, skeletal system, nervous system, muscular system, circulatory system, and digestive system. Okay, so all these, for the time being, you have studied what for it is useful. Okay, so in this class, or for your 5th standard, so you are going to study about the skeletal system and the nervous system, that is, and the muscular system, that is muscles. So skeletal system and muscular system and nervous system, that is pertaining to the bones, muscles, and movement. So that will be your next chapter, bones, muscles, and movement. Okay, so for the time being, you understand this much. These are the systems which work in coordination and help our body to carry out the day-to-day activities. Okay, and in this lesson, or in this class, in this standard, you are going to study about the bones and muscles that forms the skeletal and the muscular system, and about the nerves that forms the nervous system. So these 3 systems we are going to study in 5th standard in detail. Okay, so that we will take up in the next class. Okay, so before I continue with the next class, you will be getting your tests, I think. So prepare well for the test. Again, all the best for your test. Do well in your test. So be prompt, don't copy. So how much ever you know, you answer and get the marks. Understand and read, write the test well. Okay, children? So after the test, we'll meet in the class. Thank you, children. Stop it now.